Hi everybody. Today we are going to start with the first subject, mathematics. In that, we are going to start with the first chapter, matrices. That is the first chapter of the mathematics as per DCET syllabus. But when you go for the study of matrices, you will be coming across the determinant part also. In between it is clubbed there. So what we shall do? Let's go for the determinant first. We shall finish up all the ideas about that. Then we shall go for the matrix where this idea of determinant will be used. So we are going to start with the first chapter, determinant. Fine. Let's see now what's meant by determinant. Suppose you have a set of numbers, natural numbers, maybe positive integer or negative integer or whatever it may be. We have a group of natural numbers, you can say. So now we shall go for arrangement of these natural numbers in a systematic manner. What do you mean by that? Instead of writing the numbers continuously, the routine method, we shall go for writing them in certain systematic manner. What kind of systematic manner? We can just arrange the numbers in certain horizontal rows and certain vertical columns. After arranging these numbers in rows and columns, let us put the boundary for that. Means we shall just enclose that systematic arrangement within parallel lines, and that we call it as a determinant. So what's a determinant then? It is the systematic array. Array means arrangement. Systematic array of numbers in horizontal rows and vertical columns. Fine then. Let's go for the example for the determinant. Look at the definition here. Is the systematic array of numbers arranged in certain rows and columns and enclosed within parallel lines. Let's go for the simple example for this. Look at the examples. Let's go for the order of the determinant. Look at this. This is an example for a determinant. What you can observe here? So inside the determinant, you have four elements. A1, A2, B1, B2. How they are arranged? Two elements A1, A2, they are arranged in the first row. B1, B2, they are arranged in the second row. Or you can say A1, B1 are arranged in the first column and A2, B2 are arranged in the second column. Right? And this arrangement, if it is enclosed within parallel lines, we call it as a determinant. What is the order of the determinant now? Now we are going to discuss about the order of the determinant. Look at this. You have two rows and two columns. That's written as 2 into 2. First number indicates how many rows are there. Second number indicates how many columns are there. So this type of determinant, we call it as a second order determinant. Remember, in the second order determinant, in all you have got four elements, two rows and two columns. Suppose if you go for the third order, look at this example here. You have got three rows and three columns, 3 into 3, and this we call it as third order determinant. In a determinant, if there are 3 rows and 3 columns, that's called as third order determinant. If there are 2 rows and 2 columns, that's called as the second order determinant. Earlier we have seen total number of elements in the second order determinant, 2 into 2, that's 4. Suppose if you go for the total number of elements in the third order, that is 3 into 3, 9. 9 elements are there. Find them. Important point to observe here. Whether it is second order determinant or third order determinant, whatever it may be, what is the important point you have to observe? If there are 2 rows, there must be 2 columns. If there are 3 rows, there must be 3 columns. That means in a determinant, the number of rows and columns must be equal. Equal number of rows and columns. That's fine. Now let's go for the next concept here. How to find the value of second order determinants. Suppose if you are given a second order determinant, how to find the value of that? I will just take a simple numerical example for this. Say for example, we have a determinant with the elements 3, 1, 2 and 6. How to find the value of this determinant? As you can make out here, this called as a second order determinant as you have 2 rows and 2 columns. Right? So, what is the formula for this? If you go for the expansion of second order determinant, you are supposed to write two terms. But how to write two terms? First term always starts with plus sign. While writing the second term, you have to put the minus sign. Similarly, suppose if you go for the expansion of third order determinant, so that contains three terms there. How to write all the three terms? First term with plus sign, second term with minus sign, again the third term with plus sign. That means what? In the expansion of the determinant, the sign of the terms alternatively changes. Plus, minus, plus, and so on. Fine then. Let's go for the expansion of this. This is the first row, this is the first column, and 3 is called as first element of the first row. Whereas this 1 is called as second element of the first row. What the formula says here. So the first term, first element, that is 3 multiplied by its diagonally opposite element. Diagonally, that is the geometrical word. So in geometry, if you have got a quadrilateral, the line joining the opposite corners, we call it as diagonal. That's right. Fine then. So what is the formula here? First element of the first row and first column multiplied by its diagonally opposite element. This is the first term. As I told you just now, while writing the second term, you have to put the minus sign. Minus second element, that is second element of the first row itself, that is 1 multiplied by its diagonally opposite element. What is the diagonally opposite? That's nothing but 2. Is the formula clear? It's very simple. First element into its diagonally opposite element minus second element into its diagonally opposite element. Simplify this, you will get the answer. 3 6 are 18, minus 1 2s are 2, 18 minus 2, that is 16. That's all. Is the idea clear? So this is the way how we can go for finding the value of second order determinant. So this is the actual procedure you have to follow. You have followed in first year. That's the diploma level. So this was carrying 3 marks at that time, because as you know, in mathematics you have come across 3 different category of problems. The first category 3 marks example, second category 5 mark example, and the third category 6 marks example. This was asked for 3 marks. This is the detailed step you are supposed to follow. But now you are facing the DCET. So in DCET, time management is most important, because in 3 hours you are supposed to answer 100 questions. In 3 hours, you are supposed to answer 100 questions. So you have to manage your timing. You cannot go for all these detailed steps. Remember, in mathematics, my procedure, what I used to follow here is 1 or 2 examples in detail I will show you. And later on, you have to go for the direct method. You have to, maximum more than 90% of the problems in mathematics, you can go for the direct method, or which you call it as shortcut method. You have to follow shortcut method in the DCET. Otherwise, you cannot manage your timing there. Idea is clear. Fine then. What is the actual method you can follow here? Remember, in the DCET, if you use the pen for writing something, maybe for some simplification or something like that, remember, you are wasting the time. If you are using the writing work there, you are wasting the time. So to the maximum extent, you have to find the answer in the direct method or in the shortcut method. Or you can go for some time. What do you mean by inspection method? Let's observe here. So in this particular example, so if you want to simplify the same problem, we can say 3, 1, 2, 6. So we have a determinant here, 3, 1, 2, and 6. Will be alright? We know the formula. First element into diagonally opposite element minus second into diagonally opposite element. So that is stored in your memory. You just recall the formula. That's all. Look at this. We want the value of this. What is the nature of the question? The value of this equal to dash. This is the question that will be asked in the DCET. How will you go for this? Need not use the pen. You know the formula. First element into its diagonally opposite. 3, 6, 18. 7 your mind. Minus. When you write the second term, you have to put the minus sign. 18 minus, that will be stored here. 1 into 2, 2. So 18 minus 2. Is it necessary to write here? It's not the regular diploma. You are not supposed to. 18 minus 2, it will come in your mind. What is 18 minus 2? 16. Again, remember, you are not supposed to write this equal to 16. Just go through the options. You will be given 4 options. Wherever that 60 number is there, you just select that answer and mark it in the OMR sheet. See here, I have not used my pen at all. That means I have saved a lot of time. In the DCET, 180 minutes, 3 hours means every minute is important, every second is important. Talking about seconds. Every second is important. Suppose if you go for this particular problem, this is the first problem. Just have the idea about this. 3 6 are 18 minus 1 into 2, 2. 18 minus 2, 16. Within no time, within a second, you will get the answer. You'll be practicing a number of problems here. So immediately you'll get the answer. So this is what you are supposed to do. Idea is clear. Fine then. Let's go for another example in this. You should be very, very careful in the mathematical simplification when you come across the negative sign. Right? Let's go for this. At the first example, I have taken all the elements with plus sign. You can expect the minus sign also. 3, minus 8, 2 and 5. This is the determinant and you are supposed to find the value of this. How will you go for this? You know the formula. 3 into 5. What is 3 into 5? That's 15. Right? Put the minus sign first. This is the formula minus. Then you go for the multiplication of these two. One more minus sign is there. Minus into plus minus. 8 2s are 16. Minus of minus 16. What is minus of minus? Plus. So this will be 15 plus 16. That's equal to 31. This is the correct answer. First element it is diagonally opposite, that's 15. Minus sign as per the formula. When you multiply these two, second element into its diagonally opposite, you will get minus 16. Minus of minus plus 16. So the answer is 31. What is the nature of mistakes you used to do? So you will forget this. So what you will do here? Yes, first element into suppose 3 into 15. 3 into 5, 15. Minus 8 into 2, 16. Most of the people will go like this. 15 minus 16, that's equal to minus 1. Correct answer is plus 31, but you are getting here minus 1. What is the nature of the options? Look at this. A, B, C and D. 4 options will be there. First option is minus 1. Second option is plus 1. Third option is 31. Next last option is minus 30. Suppose if you do this mistake, you will get minus 1. The same answer will be the first option. Minus 1 will be the first option in DCET. Because when you just do this mistake and look at the options, you will be very happy to look your answer in the first option itself. And you select that, the marks awarded will be 0. Because you did a mistake. So that's why I repeat, whenever you go for the simplification, be careful about the negative sign. Be careful about the negative sign. If you do mistake in that, you will be thrown into a pit. Idea is clear. You know everything. You know the formula. You know the simplification. Everything you know in a perfect manner. But you will be doing a mistake here. So, in what way you can just simplify? Look at this. Suppose if you want to simplify this, you can follow this technique here. Right? So, 3 5s are 15. Minus is the formula minus. When you go for the multiplication of these two, one more minus is there. One more minus is there, remember guys. And minus of minus, directly convert it plus. Formula minus, one more minus, plus 16. Answer is 31. Suppose you have minus sign here again. One more minus sign is there. This is the formula minus. 2 minus sign, minus into minus plus. This will remain as it is. Then you have to write 16. That's equal to minus 1. Idea is clear. First put the minus sign. If any one minus sign here, that will become plus. Again 2 minus signs have that. Minus will remain or it will continue as it is. Only one example is enough to digest the concept. What are the varieties of examples? Nothing. Only the numbers will be different and the minus sign will be associated with different numbers. But the formula remains same, the method remains same, and your shortcut method, inspection method, that also remains same. Clear? So this is the basic idea about determinants. This is one type of example. So if you go for the formula here, look at this. If you go for the formula in a general way, see here, A1, A2, B1, B2. What is the formula? First element into its opposite, A1 into B2, minus second element into its opposite, A2, B1. Look at the formula here, A1, B2 minus A2, B1. So in the second order determinant, actually, you will come across two different types of example. The first type we have come across here, how to find the value of a second order determinant. In the next class, in the next clip, we'll just go for the other type of example, what you can expect in this. Fine, guys. So today we have started with the determinant. What's a determinant? It is the systematic array of numbers where they are arranged in certain horizontal rows and vertical columns, and that arrangement is enclosed within parallel lines. Important condition to write a determinant. Number of rows and number of columns must be equal. Of course, it is very simple. Most of the students will neglect that. That may be one of the question in the DCET. How they will ask? In a determinant, which of the following condition is true? First option, number of rows greater than number of columns. Second option, number of columns greater than number of rows. Third option, number of rows and columns are equal. Fourth option, none. What will be your answer? Number of rows and columns must be equal. So third one is the correct answer. The same question can be asked in the reverse way. If the number of rows and columns are equal, then it is the indication of dash. Matrix will be there, determinant, and some other names will be there. You have to go for the determinant. Of course, in matrix also it is one of the condition. It may be or may not be. The rows and columns may be equal or may not be equal. That you shall deal when you start with the matrix. So the formula for the expansion of second order determinant. First element into its diagonally opposite minus second into its diagonally opposite. So this much we have come across in the today's fundamental class. So in the next class, we shall go for the other type of example in the second order determinant. Till then, have a nice time.